Say that again.
Yeah, here. There's something different about my show than yours, Paul.
Macho Man.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm gonna go.
You know what? One of the best AM wake ups you did was, in my opinion, or the best. I wanted to bring it up to you, so I'm glad I remembered.
The White People Classics.
No. Well, wait, maybe. Yeah, that one too. That one too. That was good. That was good. But no, the one. What would be your second guess?
Well, I mean, I would say I don't know if you call it a wake up. There was one morning I was on pretty early doing a Dow restream, I think, that they struck. But I don't really know, I kind of know what you're into, Sean, but you're kind of like me in that way where, what is that noise?
Yeah, dude, I don't know what that is, but that's how I
It's the dragon. The dragon.
The dragon.
Let's please the dragon. No, go ahead. Give me your whatever your perspective was on that.
I'll be honest. I think I might have missed that one. That one where they struck. You were streaming on both channels, right? And they struck the main. Yeah, I don't think I caught that. I don't remember if I did or not. But no, the one where you were reviewing, man, all your original auditing videos. Because I can tell by the way people respond to you and the things people say around you that they're not familiar with your with your videos. I don't want to say content, but with your videos, mostly because obviously you're not doing a lot of that stuff at the moment currently. So yeah, that stream was great. And if you noticed, I mean, it had the highest numbers too for any of the, not that it's about that, but you get my point, is that when you're just chilling in the morning listening to music, a lot of people are not going to tune into that, but not that you're looking for that. You're just chilling. I get it. You're just getting your day started. But yeah, man, that was great because it was, you were going through everything, and you were going through it in order, and in a way, it was kind of giving people a look into the order of operations, into correcting your status and standing, which is something I'm trying to learn more about. The best order of operations to follow when seeking that, going down that road.
Yeah, I did notice that. And I guess this is where it's hard for me to maintain my egoic image. It becomes weird and awkward for me to do videos about me. It's like, I'm going to now play a video of me and talk about me and what I'm talking about. It's very Talcottian. I'm sure if Talcott had videos of him worth talking about, he would do that. But when I do that, it's just like I almost then want to like go watch other people's videos and give my perspective on their nonsense and where I would have done it differently, rather than, because all that really serves to do is, like you say, I guess there's a purpose if I'm marketing. It's like, oh, Paulie Boy actually does other stuff and can conduct himself in a certain way. Most of us can't. So there's value there. And I'm like, and I guess it would serve to help the hoes and the haters who don't know that and just talk. And then I show that and then they shut up, which then it's just less fun. Because it's more fun when we do like 6 months and new people come and then they find out one day, oh, there's like all other aspects of this being and what he has done or has been involved in certain ways. It's just, I guess, a more interesting experience. But I get what you're saying. It did have the highest views. And I think there are a lot of people that like when I show that side of myself and focus on that and comment on it. The auditing, quote unquote, even though I wasn't doing that. I was just dealing with courts and policy enforcement and things on the side of the road and taping it and then putting it out.
Right. Yeah. The difference is that you weren't. Yeah. You can't really call it auditing when there's the actual. That wasn't the purpose. That wasn't the intention. That just came with the with the territory of what you were doing.
No, they start with me and then I start keeping record and doing whatever the fuck I want to do, and then they keep arresting me.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm not going looking for trouble. I'm seeing things come up. Like one day there's one with the guy with the tinted windows. I was passing him. He's on the side of the road. His lights are on and you can't see him and the car's not marked. And so I stopped him and had him roll his window down. And we all saw that one. So that's like one of the few where, or I'm at a parking lot and Lawcock was his name. Can't make this shit up. Is in the middle of the fucking thoroughfare, blocking the entry and outerway to the point where the citizen slaves are beeping at him. I go, something's up when slaves are beeping at a cop. They're just saying, could you move over? Because you're in the middle. And I'm like, bro, what's your deal? Right?
When I
see that kind of
shit, was like 33 or some shit. It was ridiculous. It was
it's
3330 or some shit.
And that's why they say that a lot of my videos are set up, because the universe works on synchronicities and numbers. All the numbers counters know that.
Right.
So yeah, you're going to see certain numbers and synchronicities come up in my life because that's just how it's been working. And I know that. And I could number count. I just don't. It's interesting and fascinating. Cool. It's just a sign that you're in a flow space. I'm not going to say state.
Now you got me curious. What numbers do you see all the time around you, and what synchronicities?
I don't. It's 10:33 right now. 10:33 right now. Right now.
Oh, you're fucking.
You know what that means? You know what that means?
God, man. Now you're freaking me out, man. Fuck off.
Listen, bro.
I don't believe it. Jesus.
The dodecahedron. You don't know the dodecahedron. You don't know nothing about
it. It's funny you said that, because I'm pretty sure last night on your stream I commented how there was like...
Hold on, Pineal, man. He just said something important.
I'm just fucking with you. Just relax.
Oh, okay.
We're not number count right now. He's like, I think there's about to be a huge breakthrough here.
Last night in your stream, I'm almost positive it was 10:33, like how you just said it was 10:33. And I said, oh, wow, there's 133 in your chat at 10:33. How about that?
Right.
So that's funny. It's just synchronicity, man. I mean, you could
say, which obviously means that I'm a dark mason. That's all that means.
Right. Or that you're just
go right to that, easy conclusion where you invalidate everything because what the average theory slave doesn't do. So they have to find a reason why everyone's invalidated.
Is it me, or I've always had the impression that when I see these numbers or when I go through those synchronicities, that is because I'm either at the right place at the right time, or that I'm, synced up with I don't know, the simulation or something. I don't know.
Source code, man.
Yeah, as if, or I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. That's the feeling I get. It's just a feeling. I don't know if it's accurate
or like what will happen is, right, like I'll meet a woman, it's happened a few times, and then they'll have a birth date that's the same date as like my slave registration date, or their birth date's the same as my father's birth date. Just bizarre coincidences that happen over and over again. And then the birth slave date is like 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's just kind of interesting.
Well, hey, I mean, yeah, 6 and 23 are basically my two most prominent numbers. I won't call them my lucky numbers, but I was born on the 6th, so was my sister, yada yada. But my ex's birthday was 6/23, and that's my mom's dad's birthday. And yeah, I mean, the longest relationship I've ever been in. But call it what you will, call it a coincidence, synchronicity, whatever.
Or
I had synchronicity, but
see, now I'm thinking of these. Like I never really focus on them, but then like they're in my head because they're interesting to me at the time, and then I just kind of move forward. But I rented a car. There's a date with me and the woman I was with, which was 7/17, and then I rented a car, and the car license plate was 7/17 baby, and I was on my way to a festival. I hadn't spoken to her in years. It was 2 years after at this point, and I was on my way to a festival to do that presentment, and she texted me for the first time in 2 years as I was going through the place where she was now staying, that she'd never stayed before, never been before, never stayed before, was now staying. And I was moving through, and right as I moved through, she texted me the first time in 2 years with the license plate with the same number, right? And I'd never been to that place before. And oddly enough, it was Spokane, where Talcott's from. So,
wow.
It's like, so you rent the car, you're getting the car, you're like, that's an interesting license plate, 7/17 baby with this woman, whatever. So, and as you're going to the festival, she texts you, oh, why is she texting me? And then you look and you're right where she told you she had wound up at, right? So yeah, I mean, for all the shit to kind of come together like that, and it happens fairly regularly.
Yeah, dude. Some of the stuff I'll give him credit. Some of the stuff that Mr. Smith points out is pretty. I haven't heard anywhere else, and it is very intriguing. It isn't
Well, because he's insane,
right? And when you're insane in an insane world, right? And then you're actually just sane.
I know, but he reaches lie lock state as in lie to lock down. Come on, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
if you sit there long enough and look at enough fucking words and break them down like Win Miller with the syntax insanity, you can make anything out of anything. You know, I mean, the interesting part was one of my haters one day, like who was constantly on me, goes, "I'm gonna run your name through gematria," and came back with all positive things. He goes, "I ran every series of words and terms through my calculator. It all comes back to God and some variation." I go, "Well, there you go, you filthy fucking slave. Your own fucking theory system proved you wrong again." I don't know how that works. I don't care to know. He said it. I didn't say it.
I did it with OTW News. It was just, it was crazy. But it was all good things. It was all positive stuff.
With what? With what? With OTW?
OTW News, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
You should try it out.
Yeah, I think I've done it before with PinealPower, and it was I couldn't find much, and Shauna Source, I can't remember. I got to do it again. But yeah, La Porta means the port, right? The door.
Yeah.
La porte, yeah, the door.
Right. Yep.
In French, anyway.
Would that be French?
No, it's Italian.
Yeah.
Well,
the same thing in every language, man. Spanish, Italian, French. They're all derivatives of Latin, aren't they? I'm pretty sure. Isn't French a derivative of Latin?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I don't know. Is Nacho here? No, Nacho's not here. I was enjoying Nacho's keto Nacho's what he was.
He's still in chat
today.
He's still in chat.
Yeah, when I was in high school, man, towards the end, I'm like, man, I'm getting out of high school. I'm going to fucking Nepal, dude. Nepal, Tibet. I'm getting out of here, dude. I'm going to a monastery.
You're out of your fucking mind. You're going to be down there smoking hash and DMT, and then people are going to come for you and we're never going to see you again.
Right. Get traffic to the highest bidder, you know.
Yeah, you'll be playing with those people because I know how you are. You won't go down there and fucking do something like everyone, like the slave. You're just like me in that way. You'll go down there and start playing with people who got Nepalese hash, and you'll get fucking somehow thrown in prison forever. And then you'll have to call me or the embassy to try to get you out. And then I'll be writing letters to them. You got to let PinealPower go. He's confused. Quick story. And then I just tell him about your background, your history. You're a little bit confused. You mean no harm. And then I get you turned back over to the kingdom of enslavement.
Hey,
we don't need to go through that.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of hash, I mean, if there is anyone on this panel who happens to have just a good amount of hash just sitting around, I would say, what are you doing with it, man? Why is it sitting there in that bag by your feet by the fucking laptop? Why don't you send it Pineal?
So wait a second. So now you're okay. This is a new take on a broadcast.
Not speaking to anybody in particular.
Oh, you're going to openly indict yourself. Hey, if you want to like send me things that are obviously illegal, go ahead and do that now.
It was a joke. It was satire. I don't use
for entertainment purposes.
Illicit substances, my friend. None of those.
If anybody has a spare flashlight, go ahead and send it to PinealPower.
Use preferably.
That's legal.
Right.
I think.
Brian O'Shea butter or maybe lube ass, please. With a bottle of lube, sir, please. Bacon grease based lube.
Dude, when's the last time you've been touched by a woman?
Oh man, God, what year is it?
Is it really? Are you at that point already? You're like me, a young man, world in the palm of your hands, and you're involuntary celibate?
See, it would be involuntary if I was actively.
If I had a job and could pay for it.
No, if I was actively trying, you know what I mean, and putting myself out there to where Um, yeah, I'm in a pivotal stage. I'm in a pivotal stage where I'm.
What is the pivot exactly?
The pivot is from
Designed to succeed or fail
confusion
once
to
and for all.
clarity.
Right.
Hopefully,
I'm in a pivotal
yeah,
stage. Success
yeah,
or
no,
failure.
yeah. Getting finally like taking a step forward into fixing some things, upgrading some things in my life. Um, yeah, health related, vehicle related, family related.
What the fuck is wrong? Why is it you have to keep this a secret? Because I know I'm going to find out. It's something like you got ingrown toenails.
Well,
Like,
my
because you
car's
keep
fucked
saying,
up.
no,
My
you
car's
keep saying
fucked up. I
health
got
related shit. And
cavities. I
you
got
won't tell
yeah.
nobody what it is.
In
You're
addition
legally
to
retarded. That's what it is, right?
yeah, I mean, obviously I'm autistic, but I
All
mean
right.
that's a
Well,
kind of a different
you're
story.
an overachiever, though. That's the thing, right? Like for you being as legally retarded as you are, you're pretty bright and perceptive. You're a pretty darn good singer. I've heard you at times. With anything related to Nickelback, you nail it.
Right, right.
You're fairly attractive male from what it appears to me. I guess.
It's
Could you
nice
take
that
your hat
gets you
off
carried
again?
away.
Just take your hat off for a second. Yeah. All right. Put it back on. Put it back on.
I'm Lou. I'm basically Lou from
Right.
the head up.
Right. You don't have any kind of like serious illness that causes your head to look like that, do you? Because I want to stop making fun of you. If
Yeah, I mean, I have pinealostomia donate to me now to help me syndrome.
Is that like a offshoot of Asperger's?
Kinda, yeah, kind of like
Right. I could
Asperger's.
see that. I could see that. No, I meant like cancer or something like that. Maybe
No,
some
man,
extreme form of lupus
I'm
where your
great.
hair
I'm
fell out.
grateful. I'm grateful for the ability to just chill and eat mangoes all day and not have any issues. So,
And you
yeah,
can still can you get and maintain an erection? Because a lot of
yeah,
times with these number,
thank God.
okay, you're good in that area. I was gonna say a lot of these number counter stargazers, for some reason, they're so estrogenated they can't get or maintain an erection.
Yeah, thank
Brian
God.
O'Shea is
Right,
one of them.
right.
Melted brick expert.
Maybe that has something to do with it too. Like, how when you look at that, what do they say? You stare into the abyss long enough, it looks back at you. He's looked at melted bricks so long that it's happened to him. It's just, it doesn't erect. They're just melted.
So he stood at a brick so long that he became soft. That doesn't make much sense.
No, it sounded good before I said it.
Right. Like a lot of the things. And that's the thing. What is that? It's not a disease. Remember when they switched the letters around? All of a sudden, it's whatever you are is now kind of washing off on me. I'm finding myself unable to even talk right now in this moment, which is uncharacteristic of me. So I'm losing the ability to speak.
I tend to do that to people.
Dyslexic. You have like dyslexia except for life.
Right.
Where pretty much everything's out of order and backwards.
Synesthesia, dyslexia, autism. Yeah, call it what you will. All of the above.
So you have all that?
Yeah.
And
ADD,
this is your
OCD.
problem. You bought into all this bullshit. That's why you're not doing a motherfucking thing.
Man, I don't
No,
believe
you're
in
not joking. Yeah, it was a half joke. You have some diagnosis and you bought into it. I know you do. I know they told you you're ADHD and you fucking bought into it, and that's why you have no.
I did at a point, and I was taking fucking,
taking 2.0.
Focalin and all that bullshit. That was in high school. That was when I was 15. That's actually what got me started. Well, I'm not going to blame it, but I kind of want to blame it. Not that it's an entirely bad thing, but it's
yeah, you do. You want to blame something. You want to make it.
I kind of want to blame the pharmaceuticals for my
right.
Because I was amped up. I needed something to take the edge off, so I started smoking and drinking, and soon enough, I'm popping shrooms and dropping acid, and so popping e-pills, and then going down the pharmaceutical.
So you realize I did all of that, right? You realize I did all of that and more for the same reasons.
Of course.
So there's really no excuses, right?
And I, like you and like Lou and like a lot of people, I went to treatment, and then I went to treatment again. Second time it was more just a get out of jail kind of card kind of thing, but I still benefited from it, largely. And I'm glad I'm grateful it happened, and I wouldn't change it if I could. Same with jail.
Do you see the value? Do you see the value separate from the money of you doing something with a product or service daily?
Yeah.
Separate from the money, because the money is something you need and complain about from time to time. I know that. We all have that at some point. Separate
But I'm
from
not
the
money
money.
motivated, you know.
Sir, did I not tell you that I'm the same way? You're
Right.
talking to you right now. A slightly better looking and slightly more overweight version of yourself. Right? So I'm not exactly money motivated. It's nice when I get on here. It's a blessing. It's like, wow, I must be in some alternate universe where no one was looking for me and I was pretty much hated and reviled by everyone. And now folks show up and pay me to just talk. I must have like Mandela affected over to another timeline with all the rest of you. Because I heard you talking about that all day yesterday. Some kind of fucking switch over to a timeline. I think you're onto something. But yeah, you're talking to a version of yourself in a sense. I'm not money motivated, even when there's money on the table, more money than maybe I could have ever made before trapping. Being me, I'm still not motivated because I have to do something that's outside of my character to get it. Right? Maybe I have to rub like horse semen lotion on my face real early in the morning and take a video of it.
Aborted fetal cell. Yeah.
Right.
Heck,
Oh,
293.
What's that? You need skincare? Yeah, 30,000. I'm not willing to do that. But I am motivated by what's true and correct for me and others. I'm motivated by doing service and feeling like I was a part of completing something rather than doing nothing. It's better to be part of something and complete something and do something and create something than do nothing and then complain about lack of results. So you have to find where the thing works for you and is authentic for you and is an additive to your life and lifestyle, not a detriment and a detraction. If you can do that, then you're going to win, right? Because you'll have the money you need to get the things you need. You won't be in love with it, and you'll find a way to be in love with the process or the product or service that you create and what that creates out of it, right? So it's a different way of getting to the same thing everyone gets to without being motivated by the same worldly things. So again, it feels better to wake up, have somewhere to be, something to contribute, something to co-create with and serve outside of yourself and your bullshit lifestyle if it's getting nowhere. Because at least I can come home and say, I was a part of something and creating something and fulfilling a vision, and I have something to show for it. I got a few bucks and I can get the things I need. Right. And I've learned if you go and work for a business, you can learn how to make your own. This is what I don't get about people. I go, young people, I know because I didn't get that. And I get it now. Go work somewhere for 6 months and just fucking learn how they do shit and remix their shit like you do with my broadcast. If you're going to do that, go to fucking work for Amazon. You don't even need to do that. They got an application online now. You can fucking set up 10 items and Dropbox ship and it'll work itself. There's really no excuses to be completely poor and broke and have no source of value and contribution. You're not putting your time, energy, attention in somewhere. Right? So with that said, go work for some. Let's say you really like fucking skateboards. Well, thank you, Dick. I love you, brother.
Love you, Dick Rower.
Let's say you really love skateboards. Go fucking work at the shop and figure out what all the moving parts are to the shop, scale it down and do your own version of that. Open up your own skateboard repair shop, put a Google pin on your fucking house and call it PinealPower's Skate Repair. Now you got 10 people a day who are going to hit you up and say, who the fuck are you, bro? Are you actually a store? The dragon is here again. And they're going to ask you questions, get to know you, and you're going to take people's customers. Say, dude, what is your problem? Why do you think you're on mute? Are you really? Seriously? God damn it. No despair, Bear. We love you, brother. I don't know why that just happened again.
I didn't do nothing. Didn't say nothing. What the fuck was it?
I just watched you walk over and unmute, and the dragon came back in the room.
What?
There it is again.
Yeah, that's weird as shit, dude.
You got
a big huge anaconda snake.
Noise.
It's one of those down south anaconda snake.
Dude, there's no sound going on here. Y'all are fucked up.
That's the point, man. It's about minding your own business in all ways. Mind your own business. You know, you got different forms of business you can mind, and if you don't have a financial form, come on, bro, you're killing me. You can't be serious. This is gonna be that's gonna be my new intro to my broadcast, right? Not a music, not a clip. It's gonna be that. Could someone clip that, please? Because I'm gonna loop that for my intro.
Oh man, shout out to Joseph Aquaviva. What's good, brother?
Peace.
See, and if I wasn't over here giving you all this good shit on your stream, I'd be getting that. So, you know, now I'm minding your business, OTW.
I know Joseph appreciated the interaction, I'm sure, that you had with Mr. Hubbard, because he had his own Hubbard Exposed kind of thing that went pretty big at one point, and
Oh, that wasn't an interaction. I was breaking a hoe. You know,
well, I mean,
there was no interaction. I was on a mission there to break that hoe down, build it back up.
What is the etymology of interact anyway? Inter, inside,
and act.
The way I see interaction is it has to be a back and forth, give and take. There was none of that. I identified a problem and I created a solution.
Paulian dialectic, could you call it maybe?
You could call it that. Problem, reaction, solution.
Unslavian dialectic.
PRS.
Here, I'll drop his link in the chat for anybody who's not aware. I think he's about to hit 10K subs, man. I left you a comment on one of your wall posts, but yeah, you're like 20 short of 10,000.
Let's go, bro. I want some of that action. If you
just like
you support
Warrior,
what I do.
Zetetic Warrior hit 1K today, and I told him at the end. I hopped on at the end. I said,
"Where's that whole Trinity 4 Dave at?"
Yeah, that's the real question.
Yeah, that's my new bitch. I got a new bitch, Smeagol creature.
He's hiding, but you know, he's got two options: come out, you know, speak up, pipe up, skinny slave, or hide. I guess he's choosing the latter. So,
yeah, I love that. It's not even off hating; it's off truth. I love when I take people away from frauds. Right? They come back home to daddy where they belong because I give them that good shit, that real shit. That's pimping. Proper instruction motivates people. The same way it would be on the street with hoes. You got people who might be a little bit lost and confused, don't really know what they need to know, and you're going to come in and try to fake pimp on them. No, I'm going to tell them the real shit and get them to never fuck with your lame ass ever again. I don't even care if they stay with me. They could go on and go somewhere else, but they're never going to fuck with you lames and frauds again. That's why I'm daddy. See? So I love when, even if I get 5 people, we're never watching Zachary Hubbard again after you broke that bitch ass motherfucker down and showed him for who and what he really was behind the veneer. Right? See, they could say what they want about me. I'm pretty much me all the way through. I have certain sides to me where I may be a little bit more mellow and kind of in the room talking coffee talk. Right? And then there's the other side of me that's focused and vigilant and has a passion for truth. So I just am who I am. These folks show you who and what they want you to believe they are. And then I have to get that real shit up out of them by focusing in on certain quality, character, ethics, and qualities, right?
A classic moment in enslaved history.
Right. So it's going to stay there. And that's why they don't like me up top either, because they love Zachary Hubbard and people like him. You're going to number count and grift and keep everyone away from the truth and suck a bunch of money out of them to put back into our mortgage B system. We love you, boy. See, they hate me because everything is voluntary contributions. There's no taxable event, and it's not going back into a B system of mortgages and centralized banking. It's going to private people and private transactions to reinvest and to secure value long term and to accrue value. They hate Paulie, boy. He's giving good shit, taking people away from the grifters and securing value and transitioning false value into true value and securing that over long term. I'm everything. I am everything they don't want people to look at and be and embody. That motherfucker's exactly, oh, hit me up on Patreon. I'm going to give you some sports scores while we number count for truth, rights and freedoms. And I got an event coming up this month. The fuck out of here with that. And then you see him months later and he's in my face on here and I'm with the same energy. Hey, Zachy boy, what's up, bro? You remember me, right? Just like we're on the block again. I'm not saying I'm like that out in the street with motherfuckers who are like that. I'm like that on here with bitch ass motherfuckers like you who act like you're like that. So, hey, Zachy boy, what's up, bro? You remember me, right? I'm the guy who made you my bitch. I'm the guy who you were talking shit on your broadcast on the phone when Jennifer called up and said, Paul's your daddy, and you got all triggered and upset. Right? We remember that one too, right? And then when you see him on here with me face to face, it's, oh, hey, how's it going? Like we're old friends. You know, you were the one with the issues and the problems. You're the hating bitch ass motherfucker who came to beg me to do your work for you while shitting on me at the same time with your arrogant ego. Like I didn't see right through that. Shit makes me want to vomit. I don't work with you fucking leftist, collectivist, LA douchebags. I don't work well with you because you're so passive aggressive as your natural default modality. I just can't stand you, right? I work with people like, in a way, Zetetic Warrior, right? That's why me and him bond from the beginning, because he's an East Coast, New Jersey guy, and he's not really going to be passive aggressive. If he is, it's obvious he's doing it. He's doing it to fuck with you. He's being sarcastic like me. So he'll sit there and make fun of you to your face because he doesn't respect you and you don't get it. So, you know, again, it's a different kind of thing. They're being passive aggressive to manipulate. I'm being passive aggressive because I can't stand you and I want you out of my face because you don't stand for nothing and you won't keep it real. So
Passio aggressive, passio aggressive, I think is what they call it. But yeah, that's one thing you and Hubbard definitely resonate on is your feelings towards Passio. I don't know if you tried to reach out to him as much as fucking Zach has, but he's always whining and bitching about Passio. Passio will never, acknowledge Gematria and it's like that's not his thing, I mean,
yeah, that's his hero, man. They all got these heroes and idols. I respected Mark Passio. If you notice, I did about 30 quote unquote interviews with people who, for whatever reason, saw me as something that would contribute to their platform. I didn't see it that way at the time. I just wanted to speak about these things and follow whatever came forth. But they always would say, well, who do you respect? Who do you look up to? I go, I really don't. I'm more and more, I don't look up to anyone. I'd rather be eye to eye, So I don't really have heroes and idols. I never really have. There's folks I've respected and they've lost my respect over time. The more self-respect I've gained, the more I've lost respect for them because I recognize the game, how it works, So there's only been a couple times when they ask me that, I usually say, I don't name nobody because you're going to say I'm them people and I'm attached to them and I'm like them. And I don't like that walk. Right? So I've watched how that goes in the past. If you do things on a come up, so to speak, and you start telling people who you watch and who you like and who's your hero and your idol, they start saying you're them, that you're another version of them. But a few times I said, I respect Mark Passio and the information he's put out. And then the more I've learned about myself and the more I've had to stand on in this walk, the more I don't respect the motherfucker because I know he ain't doing it. He ain't living like that. He's not willing to. He's going to talk about anarchy, but be a policy code statutory slave is what I suspect, and create a whole great work network for them all to profit and have a career and have a status, but never let anybody into it who's going to be in controversy or never go outside of it because it'll create controversy. So you created an echo chamber with a round earth symbolism as well. So Passio's a round earther. Right. I don't come out as a flat earther, but I'm definitely suspect as somebody who says the earth is a ball automatically. Especially an ex-Satanist priest who claims to now be here for the people. I mean, come on. It's like they'll call me that, say I'm the agent, Mossad, Mason agent, and then go listen to Passio. And he goes, yeah, I was a Church of Satan priest. And they say you're all a bunch of slaves. So the greatest lie is the one closest to truth. He could be giving you 95% of the truth, leave out the 5% of the most important. It's still a lie by obfuscation. Or
Jesuit educated too. I mean, I got a cousin that's Jesuit educated, but oh my bad, I'm not plugged in.
Jesuit educated too, but yeah. Anyway, I'd say the Church of Satan part's a little more suspect.
This is a spiritual concept. It's real simple. You can't serve two masters.
Right.
Go ahead.
Nah, I'm just saying the eye in the pyramid, one great work, symbol there that he's got. I don't know. It's just kind of really the eye in the pyramid. I mean, really.
Yeah, but again, the original I'm sure that I've heard him say this, that he has an understanding of symbolism that all people need to have, that these are not inherently evil symbols, right? There's a sacred Trinity, Mother, Father, Holy Spirit, right? Or Father, Mother gives birth to the Son, thoughts, emotions, actions. You know, there's an idea behind this. So that trident Trinity symbol, not necessarily inherently evil. The eye of the creator, the grand architect, as a Masonic idea, not necessarily inherently evil, right? I could sit here and tell you, I talk day to day, essentially what their principles lay out, that there's a grand architect of all this. I don't know its name, so I say it's the Tao or the way to the way, just like the folks before me. And there seems to be a program and a simulation here. So whatever created it is the grand architect, and we have to come to know the signs and the symbols and the energy an agenda of this creation. And it turns out there's two squares, a white square and a black square, like chess, just like the Masonic symbolism, right? And then there's an even deeper understanding there. All beings usually come to a maturation point of understanding, right? 33, the Christed being was when he finally, I guess, understood it and put it into practice. So before that is what you could call a checkered past, lost, confused, broken in the world and of it, maybe seeking truth, but not being set free. Once you're set free, you now have to put that truth into action. So it may come around the time 33, you know, and then they get into like picking 33 and getting into numbers and what that means. So these are stories to communicate an idea and to lay out a structure, right? Like Masons would. They would lay out a logical structure you could look at and hold in your hand to describe a universal process, right? Now, it would just come to be that, much like gangs that start off community revolution and progress, we've gone over this, brotherly love overrides oppressive destruction, growth and development, right? Crips, Bloods, and GDs. It goes from community activity to maintain order and to be co-creative to corrupt underworld activity where you're trafficking in the souls of men. Just like every story goes, right? Just like the life path will go. If you don't observe yourself, you will go from checkered past to thinking you know to deeper into corruption, loss, and confusion. So if you're not living by some practice and process that is objectively outside of self and this body, you will retain that black square on that board, right? Most Masons have not studied their principles. They've not lived their information. They're in the world and of it. They are dark Masons. You could consider me a light Mason, even though I'm not a Mason, because I'm doing the great work, which is to share an objective consciousness that will awaken the masses to do the work they need to do for the individual self to complete the individual soul process. So there's a one great work here. We're either doing it on the side of the light side, the positivity, quote unquote, pole, which is to spread consciousness and awareness and become the change one by one, or you're doing the other side of it, bringing people down into the world, rebuking the metaphysical work and the spiritual, stargazing and number counting and focusing on the trappings of this world, never completing your own work and your own process and helping to facilitate the change on a worldwide scale. So this masonry idea is inherent in creation. It's a creational idea. Art imitates life. You know, they don't have a fucking monopoly on the idea of what creation is and how it all works. They're describing it, and then you're living on the board one way or the other. They want to
have one. You know, you could say they want to have one, it seems.
That's every being. Every being with an incarnation has an ego that thinks, I'm going to do it better than creation. Right. And it can't be done. Like the Tao says, you cannot do something better than creation has already formed it to be done. This is the idea of the fallen angel, right? We're going to overthrow God's creation and its simulation and its program because we think we have something to add on to it and do it better. No, you don't. Your cities are a failure. Your skyscrapers are a failure. They're toxified. It doesn't work. But there's the male phallic, Luciferian, male dominator, egoic archetype. We're going to make skyscrapers that defy nature, right? And you have to constantly maintain them and upkeep them. It's an illusion. It's an egoic illusion and delusion, and only leads to loss and suffering at the end, right? When everything comes back to leveling period, all those people in those ego personified states of being, those city states, like they say, state of, those city states of beings are all going to be in a suffering state because they've been living so long against the creational force and nature. Right? Evil, again, is live spelled backward. They're evil inherently because they're living backward. That's not a natural creation. And the only way it can be maintained is through the motivation and ambition of men to do it better than how creation did it. And it's just not as real as it feels.
People get it mixed up. To live is, is evil. But to live backwards is evil. Right? Literally.
Right.
To live is to live.
Yeah.
To live backwards is evil. Get it right.
Right. So you left the Garden of Eden. You've left the natural state of order of beingness to go into a concrete and steel, artificial, manufactured state of beingness run by status, policy, and code and policed by worldly authorities.
Bullseye.
That is the kingdom of Shaitan by any definition. So you're already there. These fucking religionists tell me about one day in the future, the kingdom of Shaitan's going. You're already here, dumbass. You're already in a one world order. It's already run by evil forces. You're already been preyed upon and are subject to it. You already gave your fucking power away and have little purpose, meaning, and value in the grand scheme of things by your own choice. Stop telling me about what's on the horizon that's already been here for a while and is now just showing itself completely because it thinks it has the upper hand. And it's pretty damn sure you're a bunch of bitches and hoes that ain't going to do nothing. That's when they come out in the open.
And now they'll give you the disclosure to make you think that it's so out in the open now that they're just giving it away. Here's disclosure. This is what's really going on. 10-foot aliens running around Vegas. So, Rob Cleveland, have you seen any aliens running around Vegas by any chance? 10 feet? No? Anything?
You really believe this nonsense?
There's a bunch of aliens running around Vegas way under 6 feet, but we're not going to get into that. It's politically incorrect.
Just imagine fucking
Pepito's cousins.
10-foot creatures going into the casinos and sitting at the slots. No, OTW, I don't believe any of it, sir.
Oh, that shit happened way on the
I was
other
going to
side of
say,
town.
there's a bunch
Allegedly.
of aliens on panel right now, myself
Right,
included.
right.
We're all
I have a theory that the Asian race has been seeded by aliens because they look exactly like gray aliens. Like they all look the same and they all look like gray aliens. And I'm pretty sure in my theorizing that I'm on point here. I got cave drawings, the whole thing. I got number patterns. I got planetary alignments. Right? Yeah, but not even those ones. That's a different one. You got to get the ones there's ones that have the same round head and the slanted eyes, and it's like the Borg creature. And I'm pretty sure that they've taken over the Asian people and are leading them to merge with machines, AI. That's why they're always technologically more advanced because the Asians are working directly with them aliens that they're being biologically engineered, and the rest of it's going to come down to us. They're going to be the merger. The Asian people who've been taken over by the alien race, they're going to be the ones to proliferate this beingness and the technology onto everyone.
Yeah, what is Asian phobe called? Like Islamophobe, homophobe, anti-Semite. Like, there's all these terms for. Is there a term for someone who's anti-Asian?
I'm pretty sure that I can't prove it because I have no way firsthand. I'm pretty sure Asian people don't even have sex. They have some other means of copulation, like a seahorse or one of those plants that doesn't have a mate. It just seeds itself. I don't know. Something about these people and the way they carry themselves. I just believe they're asexual. They're not actually having sex. Maybe there's some kind of tube system that they're not revealing to the rest of us. Nacho Keto, we need his. Well, he's been adopted. He's not officially.
Verify. Nacho.
He doesn't know though because he's been adopted. So this could be all beyond his experience, right? Just because he looks Asian, I guess, or he says he is. I'm not saying you could look Asian. That might be racist. Just because he says he's Asian and he's adopted, he may not have. No, that's not. That's not the right creature. That's an Illumitami-like creature right there, is what that is. with a larger brain capacity, right? You can see that one right there. Really high level of comprehension, capacity for larger brain matter. The Illumitami creature has a very shrunken in skull aperture. Go ahead,
Confirmed.
Nacho Keto person. Can you
Well,
speak on any of those Asian people not copulating that I suspect is true?
No, I just want to say initially that your baiting did work. I did want to come in here, and I wanted to just justify myself, and I wanted to speak for all Asians. So, I mean, like, who else was going to do it, right? So, as far as Asians are concerned, I think they do have a little bit of a different mentality. You know what I mean? Different race of people for me, I from my experience have different attributes, and it's like kind of like overlapping, bell curve diagram, and you can divide it into different categories like size or IQ or I don't know whatever else that can be measurable, and it will have a varying degrees of differences between all of that. So. It doesn't necessarily mean better or worse. It's just data, So
he's doing it right now.
Another kind of.
You can see what he's doing right now. He's using. I've studied these aliens and what they do. They have a way of altering your chemistry to put you at ease. And I've noticed he's done this on me many times, where I just check out. I don't even know what he's saying. I just feel really at ease and calm. And it really feels like he's about to take advantage of me and manipulate me and possibly probe me. So you got to watch him. Right? He's got some kind of super special power where he doesn't ever fight or disagree. He doesn't ever get in controversy, and he lulls you into a state of submission. And you know what's coming after that.
Yeah, I'm going to wrap you up in my web and feed off you from time to time.
Yeah, he's a gray alien spawn creature. Is what I suspect. He doesn't know it because he's adopted. He's not. He. It's not his fault, but it's a race line. It's a genetic lineage. Yeah, no, that's not it either. That's a Boshane type creature. So you can see there the bizarre looking nostrils and the gangly fingers. Yeah, that's a Boshane offshoot. There's a lot of different offshoots of gray aliens. There's Illuma slavery types. There's Boshane types.
This one reminds me of Brian O'Shea.
That's okay. Yeah, I see that. I'm seeing that now. Very angry. That has a lot of broken dreams, visions of conquest that have never flourished. Yeah, that might be an O'Shea. O'Shea gray.
The gray O'Shea.
I suspect that alien creature is extremely unfunny as well. Something about its presentment.
It's tall gray O'Shea. It's tall gray. There are the short gray O'Sheas and the tall gray O'Sheas. Different varieties, guys.
All right. Here's one last one. I don't know. This one might fit the bill. Here, let me get this one up here.
Isn't it foot the bill? Or should fit the bill?
Fit the bill, yeah. There we go.
E.T.
I don't know. That's a well-known creature. That's like we can't be objective about that because that creature has a special place in all of our heart.
Right. So he's like part of the family, right? Can't consider him an alien, really.
You know what? That's more of a, but see, that's still not the Asian variety. If I could be objective right here, put that creature back up again. That's more of a Jeebus Crisp. You remember him? The Jeebus Crisp. He has the nubby, short, stubby fingers that are like squared off at the end. And he's got that really wide oval head, egg-like head shape, and kind of that broken child look in its eyes. Yeah, that's a Jeebus Crisp variant of sort of gray alien creature. Still not the Asian variety. I'll have to get my own from the files, the archives. I have my own.
All right, hold on. How about this?
It is an interesting question, though. Like, where do races come from? I think it's an interesting question.
What the fuck? Who is that?
Yeah, no. See, that's closer. That's closer. and you know how you know this? That's more of a Robert Graves creature, right?
Oh
You
my
could picture that creature down in Africa selling water supplies and systems while taking wives for pay.
Hey, dude, you know, who's to say he didn't
Holy
go
fuck! I
fucking-
forgot about Robert Graves.
Who's to say he didn't go big with those fucking straws, man? I mean, who's to say he's not a multimillionaire?
Yeah, that was going nowhere, bro. You still didn't get it. That was all a fucking ruse so he could be all around the world taking wives for payment. He probably got that. He got some young African American woman who never would have fucked him. He probably paid like a few goats for her, you know. So with guys like that, that's a big come up. Be
When she would
horribly
walk by
unattractive.
sometimes- She would walk
Go
by
ahead.
sometimes and look by the camera, and I don't know, man. That look she'd give the camera sometimes got me.
Okay, now
That'd be
that
double.
one is more of like that's almost a cross between the Illumitami creature and an Angela Baby Carson Voldemort creature. You could picture that being with like all types of truther gear on, you know, begging for wrenches and trying to market. If there was hair, if there was long hair, and again, the cranium throws you off because these creatures way more intelligent. Oddly enough, I know they're grotesque looking, but these creatures from their universe or from their whatever verse they're from, they might pass over through another membrane even, but they're way more highly intelligent than a lot of these metaversal creatures that we see around here. Do you have more varieties? This is rather interesting. I'm now classifying
Like,
all the.
The question is,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm coming up with the next one.
I wonder though what it is that they want. What do these aliens want? Do they have any wants?
Well, what do all deviant creatures want? Numbers, views, attention, and fiat, right? Gas money. Yeah, that's more of a Dave.
And the probing.
That's more of a child snatching Dave creature. In a way. Right? That's like what's the guy's name? Trinity. Yeah, that's a Trinity creature. It's big on planetary shapes and abducting children.
All right.
I'm trying to snatch the
Oh my
face off.
God.
Yeah. Pretty interesting. Let's see what you got for this one.
Whoa.
That's like that looks exactly like me actually.
I was going to say that might be a lagoon creature, but definitely not because it has no frontal orifice. And we know that the lagoon creature has made most of her advances in her environment using that frontal orifice. I don't mean speaking, I mean the suction action that it performs in various venues. So
That could be me in like 1,200 years.
All right.
that might be a Garland Farms type creature where it's
Oh no!
it's not meant to speak, because if it was to speak, it would be so boring that it would cause a whole race of beings to immediately fall into a slumber and have a societal collapse. So, yeah, that might be
They bored themselves to death. I mean, yeah, I see that.
right, a Borland Farms
I'd
creature.
rather die. I'd rather die than live in this boredom.
This is more along the lines of where you're seeing the eyes there. You're getting more toward the Asian persuasion. I'm not too sure what to make of this creature.
I think I just found.
You have any thoughts on this one, Dark Knight?
Yeah, I got nothing.
I was thinking of Jack Talcott, but I don't know. It's like we haven't
like
mentioned
Slave
him
Day.
yet. It's like
That's a Slave Dave creature?
Yeah, got that big long skinny chin.
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yeah, it's got a very frail torso.
That is
Very
Dave,
weak
dude.
and
That's
disempowered.
Dave, man.
That's
Yeah.
Slave Day, right?
He's on it.
That's-
That's a Slave Dave creature.
Sovereign soul, man. There we go. All right, here you go, Paul. This is the one that you want.
I think that's I think that's more of a sun piz variety.
No, that looks like one of my ex-girlfriends.
That's the thing.
Okay,
That's more of a sun piz / Laguna creature variety.
Look,
Because
guys, I knew she was an alien, all right? So it's all on
Yeah,
me.
you can see the open mouth presentment, and that's how you know that it has a strong sucking adaptation. It's evolved a strong sucking adaptation in order to
It comes that way with the mouth open and tongue out like that.
right.
You know,
in order
that's
to
their
really
default position.
to influence its environment. It's developed a high level of sucking ability.
The mouth breather.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for a gray like you.
Look at the
What's
size
going
of
on
that
in
brain on that.
mouth area there, man. Fucking eating some.
Well,
He's
again, that's
drooling.
another now
Drooling a little bit.
OTW showing another variety of lagoon type creature alien where you can even see the discharge around its mouth area. Because again, that's sort of the
Oh no.
that's sort of that's the consequence of that suction ability that it's adapted to influence environment. Yeah, there's a milky discharge that collects around the frontal orifice.
Fascinatingly disturbing and disgusting. And deplorable.
Like you can even just picture it like, hey, I'm going live in like 45 minutes. See you there.
Fucking nose holes. Wow. I got nothing.
I feel like I'm seeing a pattern here for myself, which is that aliens are like kind of like energy sucking entities.
Archon. Yeah, so you could say
Energy
that they're
sucking.
Could be archons.
Yeah, that's more of a number counter. That's like more of a PinealPower creature.
Yeah, we never got to do a deep dive with Z, but it was back when we were, I don't know if it was on his channel or Ian's channel or something, but we were talking about how similar these, as above, so below, right? But some of these creatures that are, I would call a lot of this lore. I mean, these pictures we're looking at, I mean, where are these coming from? I don't know, but are they imagined? Are they based off of what people have seen in their dreams? I'm sure there's a mixture of that. Maybe what people claim that they've seen in actual encounters that they've had, fourth encounters or fifth encounters or whatever they're called, close encounters. But basically, how similar the parasites can look. If you look at some of what these parasites look like under microscopes, they look, like demonic monsters. They look fucking horrifying. I mean, much more terrifying than these creatures look here. I mean, honestly. Have you seen any of those, Notch?
I haven't.
Nah, you don't remember
No.
when we were looking at that back on OTW when we were looking at I think it might have been on, I can't remember if it was on Ian's show or on Z's show when Z first started. But yeah, man, if you look at what some of these parasites look like, it's fucking, I don't even want to look it up. I wouldn't even know what to look up. I can't remember which parasites what some of the names of them are, but yeah, they look like demonic entities.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, OTW, I'm jumping out, man. I'm gonna probably do the broadcast over the next hour or two. I would say.
Later, Paul.
But yeah, I'll see you
Sounds
fellas later.
Peace.
All right, ciao, buddy.
All right.
See you soon, buddy.
Bye.
Peace.
Oh man, that was funny.
Yeah, but it's
I was thinking though. What's that? What is?
The nature, the as above, so below nature of some of these. You brought up how they look like energy harvesting.
Right.
And when you think of energy harvest, you think of parasites. At least I do. But yeah, some of these.
Yep, for sure.
Look it up. You could probably just look up stomach parasites, maybe, or digestive Parasites are, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
just to think that some of these things are floating around in the gut is fucking daunting. Kind of disturbing, very disturbing.
They affect
actually.
you. Yeah, they affect. Yeah, they affect you for sure. Yeah, and so like black walnut extract, it's good for that. It kills that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I got a tincture with I think it's black walnut, not oregano oil. That's the main ingredient though, is the black walnut. Can't remember what else is in it, but it's a parasite. It's a parasite cleanse, anti-parasitic tincture.
Yeah, I think oregano also is very powerful.
For sure, for
Right,
anti-parasitic,
so,
yeah, oregano oil. But you got to be careful with it because really, when they say all, everything in moderation, especially something like that, because it'll destroy your, like even people take like apple cider vinegar too far, man. So when it comes to those kind of cleansing things, yeah, you definitely got to be more.
Yeah, but the body tells you, I think like the body lets you know somehow, and you just have to realize.
If you're in tune with it, But people go on these crazy fad cleanses and diets and stuff, and they do damage, man. They do a lot of damage, and then they wonder why trying to incorporate certain foods again aren't this. They have a different reaction. It's because they literally cause damage while on a weak cleanse. Usually more so on a longer. You're not going to do much damage from a day or two unless you really fucking take something overboard. But yeah, I don't know if you heard me before when I was talking about your contribution, what you were bringing forward today with what you were saying, how I wanted to go to Nepal and Tibet.
Oh yeah.
And what? I mean, I still to this day want to. It's still there. It's the reservation. The desire is still there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that I think the window of opportunity is kind of closing, to be honest, because like to be able to fly, you need to fly through the hoops, and we don't necessarily want to go there. So for me, that's part of the reason why I'm thinking about also moving as well, because like I feel there is a possibility that once you're kind of set where you are, you're going to be there. That's just my thought. I'm not saying that's true or that's going to be the case, but I see the pattern kind of forming that way. With these companies, they're all owned by the same people, so they can create their own policies, they can create their own rules, and they don't care about money lost or not. It's always been about control. They own everything, guys. So they don't care if they lose billions of dollars from Bud Light commercials and stuff like that. And everybody's like, oh, how stupid they are to do that. They're just telling you they don't care if they're losing that kind of money because they own it all anyways. Right. Yeah, but they're gonna flash whatever they want to flash at your face, not because of money, because that's what they want to do.
Right. What is money when you print it?
Exactly. I mean, they can print it as much as we want. They want, right? So, and we're the ones playing chase up game because they know when they're gonna create inflation, when they're going to pop the inflation. They move positions before all that. So, I mean, they know exactly what they're planning themselves, but you cannot know because that's how they can benefit off you from your ignorance.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel something is definitely on the horizon. I think everyone can feel it. Something big is coming. And
oh, yeah.
Kind of like the calm before the storm, like we saw, not to make a Trump reference, but what was he talking about there? You could say he was talking about 2020, or you could say that was just, that was just a kind of a test run, which if you think of 2020, if you think of CV19 as a test run, then that's pretty pretty wild to think to consider. That means is looming on the horizon. Say this year, the next year, maybe 2025. Likely by, I'm sure, by 2025. But even possibly this year, who knows?
Yeah, I think nobody really knows the exact time of that, but we know it's like it's like an avalanche. If enough snow falls, it's going to happen eventually, right? We don't know exactly which snowflake is going to set that off, pun intended. So, things are going to happen the way it's going to happen. It's kind of beyond our control. Only thing we can really do is just be at peace with ourselves, find honor within ourselves. And everybody here, whoever is listening is part of this, journey altogether, and it's not to condemn one person or another. Sometimes maybe we have to call out stuff, so I just feel that it's important to learn from our experiences, and find ways to connect with each other and develop trust, because real trust is going to come from transparency. Real trust is going to come from honor and honesty, and everybody knows that. That's easy to understand, and I will hold myself to the highest standard as well. I mean, I am no different from anybody else. People will scrutinize me, right? Nobody is exempt. Nobody is, and even Paul, like, everybody can question Paul. He doesn't mind if we question him about whatever. I think this is the way to go. So we all have to answer for it. We're going to have to. When we go, I tell you, every thought, every action, we're going to have to answer for it. So if we don't have the answer now, we might not have the answer then.
Well said.
Absolutely right,
Well,
man. I agree.
thanks, Jerry.
Followed every word. You guys are awesome. What a great panel today, guys. We still
Thank
have
you.
69 people, 70 people watching right now. Pardon my French. It is 1:33 p.m. here Eastern Time, Montreal, Canada. Odd synchronicity again. We are the 14th of June, and it's mostly sunny over here. High wind. Great day. Great panel. It was very powerful panel, as Mr. Christos de Leopoulos would have put it. Yeah, interesting. And the chat's like on fire. Incredible comments. This is I couldn't be happier, guys. This is exactly the kind of stream that I enjoy. What are your thoughts?
I mean, we all put it together. We all put it together, every one of us, with our own experiences, our own journeys. Now is the time to put the puzzle pieces together. Who fits where? Everybody's got a spot. I tell you, you wouldn't exist if you didn't have a place.
Yeah, exactly. So you know why? Yeah, you know why? You know what? So that's why I'm going to cut the stream short today. I'm going to end it in about 30 minutes, let's say 29, 28 minutes from now. Because I'm going to keep it quality, like we're just going to have 5 hours of quality streaming. So last half hour will be like whatever, who knows what's going to happen, but yeah. So that way when I want to come and edit it later on, I'll be able to cut out some good parts and make repurpose my content, if you will. And the conversations were lit, Go ahead, Nacha.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, quality over quantity always, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
just coming to some understanding about like what we are here to do right here. This is meaningful to me, to be talking about real things, having that attitude, and Paulie exemplifies it, and that's the thing that I want to ask of myself, is that I exemplify my words. My honor doesn't just end with my words. It has to come through with the way in which we live. And yes, there's room for everything, but the most important thing is that the desire to move in the direction of betterment, of improvement. At least show that. At least to me, that says that you're being earnest with your time and energy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And Christos just decided to join us real quick. How's it going, dude? And how did you enjoy the stream? And what are your thoughts, sir, on everything that you heard here today, if you have any?
It's just like your intro says, join us and be a part of something greater. That's really what kind of went through my mind after the stream today. And in general, recently, that's kind of the attitude that I've had. So it's uh, uh, I'm not like making some trolly comment about your intro, but like literally, I think a lot of these streams and this general community from U to Z, Paul and others recently, be growing between a lot of different channels, spiritual development, self. So yeah, it's just like I've had a gratitude recently that I've come across all these different channels, content creators, and this whole dynamic of these panels, because it is something greater actually. We're already onto something, and sure, people have been doing StreamYard panels for a while now, but it seems like there's like a a, a lane that's being created here as we speak,
I see
forging
it
our
like a
own
new
path
wave. Yeah, I see it
as
like a new
people making
wave.
content. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's a different way. It's a different form of content
yeah, we're
creation
on a
other than,
frontier right now. Like we're pushing a novel thing.
yeah, it's not just the usual, it's not just the usual people pumping out curated videos that admittedly oftentimes are super valuable, intriguing, educational, valuable, but there's this co-creative aspect and dynamic nature here that's you can't really get otherwise, and unlike just a private, say, like a Tommy would say, a Zoom call, like they're just public Zoom calls, but unlike a private one, I mean, here we're able, people are able to give their 2 cents and kind of help us maybe move the conversation in a better direction sometimes, or just give their addition to the conversation without even necessarily being on the panel, and it's just a totally different dynamic, for lack of a better term, of creating content. So, for lack of a better term again, which sucks. Every word I'm like second guessing. Anyway, I yield.
Everyone gets to be part of the experience,
Right.
like the
Yeah, for
Austin
sure.
Murphy types, panel walkers, as they would be called.
There's a meeting point, obviously. I mean, here and the number of people who are here, this is a meeting point. When your attention is here, it's obviously not somewhere else, right? These conversations take us places. It changes perspectives. It changes the way in which you think about this reality. And with that, I think reality can also change based on that perspective. Like maybe we are fearful. Everybody goes through fear. We're going through a different fear, and being honest with it, facing it. But we have to overcome that somehow, and only you can do it. Only I can do it, right? So this is the way to show courage is to actually live it, right? Whatever comes. To me, that's about faith, right? Trying to live life that way. And sometimes my mind goes like calculated way, but sometimes I just want to let go of everything and be like, okay, whatever happens, happens.
Agreed. Yeah, sometimes I feel that way too. Yeah, sometimes I try it. Well, try. Actually, I do it. I don't really try it, but I do what's necessary to try and manifest things in my life that to help better the path that I'm on. So I do understand that perspective, and I do believe that we can manipulate reality to our will. I just think that we haven't been taught how to, and that we're out
Mm-hmm.
here, like lone rangers, learning the trade by ourselves and learning from each other with all our different perspectives. We actually will end up acquiring the knowledge that we need to move forward in this endeavor and have success in it as well.
Yeah,
To
people will
create a better.
naturally resonate, towards that, and there are going to be different pockets where people are going to like resonate more towards. It's just kind of, when you see cymatics, right? These frequencies, and they create a certain pattern, and it's when these like grains of sand they start to gather together into these lines. So you're going to fall somewhere like that. We all are.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's been a really roller coaster kind of a ride for the past 6 years for me. If I do speak for myself, this truther adventure is one hell of an adventure. And with everything I've learned so far, you know, it's I actually have hope, right? So that's maybe a good thing, because when I see people coming out of the woodworks and, you know, really being authentic and speaking their truth or the truth, it's inspiring. It wants you. It makes me want to do more, right? And I don't know. The maybe scripture says, you know, we will do better works than he. Maybe that's true. Maybe we can. So,
Yeah,
what are
for
your
sure,
thoughts,
guy.
Pineal? What do you think, Pineal? Pineal's a little slow on the uptake, but
My
he's
bad.
coming.
I got to plug my headphones in. I take them out. But what do I think about what that quote?
Or I guess you weren't paying attention. I guess you're somewhere else.
Yeah, I was kind of reading chat a little bit there. I was actually reading one of Notch's comments on the Gita, and I was actually going to ask uh, his feelings on A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and his
Mm-hmm.
translations on his takes on it.
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, any thoughts on
Okay,
because I don't
so
have the original. What is the original? The Bhagavad Gita is the original, right? And his is As It Is, which is like his take
yes,
on it, essentially.
yeah. So like all the Sanskrits are always going to be the same for all these Gitas, and it's just a matter of translation and interpretation. So they have commentary. So this guy, I can never pronounce his name correctly, but he also translated the Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, which is like creation story and stuff like that. So I'm just getting into it now, but I have read the Gita twice. One was a short version, and another time was like a from Kolkata. But there are many different interpretations, like hundreds of different interpretations. So this Krishna sect, as it is just one of many. But I haven't read it.
Okay. Or there's the Living Gita, right? That Satchidananda, I think.
Yeah,
Another popular.
mine come from West Bengal area of through my friend who was a monk for 10 years from 17 to 27 as a part of what's called a Vaishnava sect, where their ashram was in Puri, in Orissa, state of Orissa, in mid eastern part of India, okay, bordering Bangladesh. So a lot of people speak Bengali or West Bengali there. And he learned Sanskrit and talked about this. So he believes that it's actually quite accurate and legitimate translation. So I trust that. But I cannot tell you myself that that is the case.
Yeah, I think I maybe read about half of that book. What do you call it?
The
Bhakti,
Gita, the
yeah. Well,
Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, Prabhupada's translation. I don't think I have the original. Yeah, I gotta look it up now. I don't think I'm trying to think if I've even seen original. I'm sure I have.
So, hey Patrick, do you know the story of the Gita?
Not really. No, I haven't really read it.
Well, look, when I look up Bhagavad Gita, literally the first thing I see and recommended is a book by Swami Mukundananda or Mukundananda, Bhagavad Gita, the Song of God. And then the second one is the translation I'm talking about, Prabhupada.
Okay.
And then the third one just says Bhagavad Gita, a book by Vyasa, which I'm guessing
Yeah.
is the original.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, it's hard to say what is the original, like original translation. I think there are definitely translations that were older than that, because guy was around early 1900s, right? So there has been Sanskrit translations of the Gita well before the 1800s. But the Bhagavad Gita is like a shorter, condensed version of the Mahabharatas, which is like this epic war, right, between the Krusavas and the Pandavas. And the story goes like just they gambled, okay, and then they gambled all the land away. But the Krusavas, they cheated, so they and the Pandavas, they had no place to go. So they had no choice but to fight for their land. So the problem was that everybody were related to each other. So like on each other's side, they have brothers and uncles and grandparents and fathers and stuff like this. It was like mixed. It was like a civil war type of situation. And Arjuna, the emperor of the Pandavas, was basically asking like, hey, what's the point of doing all this? Like I'm killing my own family. Even to win doesn't feel like it's winning. So that's why where they have this discourse with each other about a different philosophy, and they talk about karma yoga, jnana yoga, and bhakti yoga, and these are the different streams to get there to the oneness of everything. So that's kind of the story of that. So it's intriguing that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like Samantha, you should like come and do a segment on the OTW News show where you read a couple of passages out of the book and translate them or something, or break them down.
The only time I've seen her on a panel was actually on my panel. She came up, but then apparently had some tech issues and dropped off. And I don't think she ever got to say anything. So that is unfortunate. It would be nice. It would be cool if she graced us with her presence sometime soon.
Yeah, that would be nice.
And the same goes for everybody, especially those who have never been on panel or have been on one time ever.
Yeah, you don't be afraid to click the link. What you do is you don't necessarily have to put your camera on. I just ask you to show yourself before you come on screen. Then you can cam up or cam down and do what you want. But you can it's like a talk show, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to chime in, you just click the link, come on in, and that's why I'm gonna rename maybe the show to not changing the name of the show. It's going to be the Grand Rising Show, but it's going to be the Grand Rising Talk Show, because this is what we do here, right? This is a talk show. So
somebody wants a clip of me saying Marfugel confirmed in a very deep animated tone so we can clip it and use it with Snafu. Okay. Pogo, Marfugel, fucking Pogo, Hug a Buddy, Fuck a Buddy, Camp Cupcake, Pogo Optics, Big Tech Media Relations Narratives Infiltrated, Mike Stranton, Marfugel confirmed. All right.
There it is. You got the clip. All right, what's up? You tell me.
How's it going, guys?
Here, one more time. Marfugel confirmed.
Just been working my ass off. You know the deal.
Yeah, we know what that's about.
Yep, paying bills.
We're about to end the stream there in a few minutes. You have any thoughts for us?
No, I just wanted to tell you I was finishing that standing the other day. My countertop guy showed up and kicked me off, so I didn't get to say bye.
Oh, okay. Well,
sorry if I just jumped out. Yeah.
Oh, you don't need to announce when you jump off. You're free to jump on and jump off. You don't have to announce yourself. I mean,
I like announcing myself.
Yeah, it's like an open door here. You walk in, you walk out. It's like
open door policy. I like it.
Yeah.
Man, it's a hot day here in Kansas City, man.
Oh man, you're in fucking the middle of the fucking. You're smack dab in the middle of the country, right? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're landlocked, dude. Like you're fucked.
Which is fine with me because I'm terrified of the ocean.
You're terrified of the ocean? Even the beach with the bikinis and the margaritas. That terrifies you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't want to go in the water.
That's wild, man. See, the same thing I was talking about yesterday, my interest for the mystery of, which is why when I was younger, I wanted to be like a marine biologist and stuff. And the same thing that intrigues me terrifies you. That's interesting. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not terrified by
Yeah, I
the
remember you saying that too, and I was thinking, I was listening when you were talking about that, and I was like, yeah, there's no way I'd want to go down into the abyss. It's so terrifying. Can you imagine?
Yeah, well, I
Let's
mean,
talk.
I'm not saying I want to go what do you call it? Skinny dip scuba diving in the middle of the fucking ocean or something. But I mean, you know,
You see those guys that do the free diving?
oh, that shit looks like a blast, dude. But it also looks fucking terrifying. So yeah,
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
dangerous. It's extremely dangerous, but
oh, you
yeah,
could die fucking instantly. You just jump into it, right? You know? Yeah. So I mean, I can only imagine how often that happens, honestly.
yeah.
Like a lot of times when people go up, end up missing, and then they're found in the ocean, it's like, who's to say that's not what they were doing? Probably
Right.
one times out of every 5 or 10 times doing some stupid shit like that.
Oh yeah. Well, I just wanted to hop on and say it was a good show today, OTW. Your broadcasts have been very good, so keep it up, brother.
The numbers have been up.
Yeah, thank you very much, brother, man. I do see that the show is growing, and I really appreciate all the viewers and everybody that's here right now and supporting the channel. So much love to you all, and much respect. Thank you for all the panel walkers and broadcasters that come here and help us create content for you viewers out there. For your pleasure and enjoyment. Sometimes emotions can be triggered, but that's all part of the show, ladies and gentlemen. So
We're growing, man. We're growing. We're learning.
yeah, absolutely.
At the end of the day, we're all on the same team, guys. And
Yeah.
everybody has acted out here and there. We just, I want to repent for my actions, and I have done wrong things probably on the internet, and I have slighted people in some ways. But sometimes I'm unaware of my own actions as well. So I can only ask for forgiveness for others, from others, to be able to, absolve myself, I guess, in some way, right? And that's also, I think, true for everybody else as well. We just take ownership of our own actions, all of us. Whether we say it out loud or not, even privately, we can keep it to ourselves and just acknowledge it. And I think that will be enough.
Well said.
Amazing, man. Amazing.
Yeah.
Super well said. Couldn't have said it better myself.
True that. I'm gonna listen to the outro music. You guys have a good one.
Peace, man. I think I'm perfectly synchronized for ending the show. My dog's freaking out. I don't know what's going on, but it's all right. People, make sure to hit that like button, share this out, and be here tomorrow morning for another episode of OTW News Grand Rising Talk Show number 41. All right, open panel. So you guys be here at the right time and don't miss it, because you guys are going to miss out on awesome content. You guys are going to miss out on awesome information, awesome panelists, a bunch of people that are really amazing. So stay tuned for another episode of OTW News. It is 1:56 p.m. here Eastern Time, Montreal, Canada. We are leaving you with a little bit of blues music in our outro with Mr. PinealPower. Much love to you all, and we'll see you tomorrow here with another amazing panel. All right, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Peace.
Oh yeah, and I forgot, if ever you want to help support the channel, there's a link down in the description, link to Ko-fi. That's another way if you guys want to help support the channel. Please go ahead and click that link. All right, much love.
Uma.